All right, guys. So on my other channel, Mr. Elboy Discusses, we just posted a video talking about what I think of the United States of America after living outside of the United States of America for almost a decade, guys. So then someone obviously comments and they say that I should check out this video. So we're going to go ahead and actually check out this video here immediately. The name of the video is Why America Sucks at Everything. Okay, this is coming from the channel Gravel Institute. Let's go and jump into it, guys. And I'll make sure I go ahead and leave a link in the pinned comment to that video if you guys do want to see that. But let's go. I don't think we suck at everything, but a lot, unfortunately. Okay. Okay. Rat pageant.
America is the greatest country on earth, the strongest, the richest, the most powerful country on earth.
Strongest and richest, I'll agree.
The strongest,
Most
the richest,
powerful?
the most powerful country on earth. As an American, I'm sure you've heard that roughly 135 times a year. 235 if you go to public school. 335 if you go to a Christian academy. We're told that Americans have the best lives of any people in the world. That we have low taxes, small government, and the highest living standards on earth.
Okay.
And most inaccurately, that we're the freest.
Jeep.
Well, it is partly true. America is the richest country, not just in the world, but in the history of the world.
Right.
It's really hard to comprehend just how rich we are. We have 18 million people who are millionaires.
Right.
American households own about $100 trillion in wealth, an almost unthinkable amount of money. Okay, so America is the richest country ever. But there's a curious paradox. Most Americans actually have a much worse standard of living than people who live in poorer countries like Germany or Finland or Britain. But how can that be? That shouldn't make any sense.
Oh, no.
Well, here's the shitty deal. Americans get significantly worse services because our tax dollars don't fund them.
Right,
so,
they
of
go to
course,
nothing.
our services are worse. And thus, we enjoy less happy lives than people who live in the aforementioned countries. Not that difficult a concept to conceive, really. You get what you pay for, said the cartoon dog to the other cartoon dog.
No, we don't.
And while you might think the reason American tax dollars don't fund as many services is because we pay lower taxes than other countries, that's not even true. When you add federal, state, local, and sales taxes and include other costs and services that our taxes don't cover but other countries' taxes do, like our uniquely high health insurance premiums, you'll find that Americans actually give away more of their wages than most of the developed world.
Absolutely.
For example, in Canada, for a married worker with 2 kids, all of the previously mentioned costs combined, from taxes to health insurance premiums, make up only 11% of the average wage. In the UK, it's just about 26%. Meanwhile,
Watch America.
once you tack on the cost of our outlandish health insurance premiums, you're spending a whopping 43% of your paycheck. That's more than France, Finland, Sweden, and Norway. In real reality, Americans...
Guys, really quickly. So when I am outside of the United States of America, I am in fact in the country of Spain, specifically Costa del Sol, in the southern tip, like basically really close to Africa. And that's where I am. And I can definitely tell you the average person can basically live off of 1,000 to maybe 15, maybe 2,000 euros monthly, guys. And they'll probably still have some extra left over, specifically if they're like, partnered up with someone else. Oh yeah, they have money left over, and they're on the beach on a regular basis. They're living their life. They're actually living and enjoying freedoms, guys, that we definitely do not experience.
That's more than France, Finland, Sweden, and Norway. In real reality, Americans keep much less of what we own than in other countries. In other countries, their government takes a bit more tax, but then gives that money back to their citizens in the form of healthcare or
Right.
job support, or a general safety net for all vulnerable citizens, no matter how dusky they are.
Dusky.
So what do Americans get for the money we pay in? Well, sure, we get a crumbling infrastructure, shameful homelessness, and millions of hungry, neglected children, but we also get some of the worst services in the developed world. Again, our healthcare. American healthcare is simultaneously the most expensive, the least efficient, and the least effective healthcare system in the developed world.
Right.
Hey, the devil's trifecta. And in exchange for this extremely expensive, inefficient healthcare system, what do we get? Well, we get some of the worst health outcomes in the developed world. We have fewer hospital beds per capita than people in Turkey or Brunei.
Jesus Christ.
Americans have a lower life expectancy than people in Lebanon or Cuba. And in the Mississippi Delta and much of Appalachia, life expectancy is lower than in Bangladesh. In fact, in 2017, the United Nations sent a commissioner to West Virginia to document what he saw, and he described, quote, third world conditions of absolute poverty, unquote.
Guys, there are definitely some states, like people can't make fun of other countries because we have a lot of that in the United States of America. Again, the richest country in the history of Earth, all right? Recorded history. Keep that in mind here. All right, we have an absolute problem. We're not doing enough for our citizens. Taxes are wild. I can definitely tell you, my wife pays taxes in the in Spain. I pay taxes in the United States of America, she pays a slightly higher percentage, but I pay more. Like, I mean, it just at the end of the day, I pay more, guys. The VAT tax in Europe is amazing. I love the ability to go to a store, see the price that I'm going to pay, and pay that exact number because the taxes are basically baked in to the actual item that you're purchasing, guys. It would be amazing if that actually was a thing, but unfortunately, it isn't. But either way.
Even have a higher infant mortality rate than people in Russia and Serbia. In every single metric, America does worse across the board. So why is healthcare so expensive? Because it's so complicated. You have to look for in-network physicians, schedule an established care appointment, beg for coverage from your insurance company that couldn't care less about you, and that's if you're lucky enough to have good insurance. Compare that to Britain and all of those other evil, socialist-like countries where it's simple. Public hospitals provide free treatment to people who need it. That's it. I'll repeat that. Public hospitals provide free treatment to people who need it.
All right, so guys, in Spain, we definitely have free healthcare, and for the most part, really super cheap education up to a very high level of education, including college. Okay, it's very cheap. Like it's wildly cheap compared to what we pay in the United States of America. Now, the big boogeyman is coming, guys. Free healthcare. I can just tell you how much I pay. I'd gotten a tooth removed. They charged me $55. I've had to get another tooth removed in the United States of America. Same exact procedure. Guess how much it costs? $2,100. Okay. This is the same exact procedure. Nothing was different here. And so we have an issue with the concept of price gouging is what it looks like, at least. Because the United States of America, people have a lot of money compared to the rest of the world. All of these corporations, they set up shop in the United States of America, including like a lot of like medical type things, where in their country, they'll charge a specific amount of money. But then when it comes to the United States of America, they'll basically times it by 1,000. Look at Ozempic, for example. Look at the price of a monthly supply of Ozempic versus the country where it came from. You'll start to realize that why are they paying, $16 basically, and we're paying 1,000. Okay. We have an absolute issue here. Companies come here and price gouge us. Even look at the what we think are American, brands in terms of cars. They're no longer American generally because Stellantis owns the majority of them. They are not from America. What are they doing? Have you noticed it? All these American cars are starting to rise in price. These are people from outside of the United States of America doing business, buying American companies, doing business in America, and price gouging us, guys. This is modern day America, the United Corporate States of America, guys. That's where we are.
And here's the best part. Even though Britain offers healthcare for free, their system is actually a lot cheaper to run than ours. Per capita healthcare spending in the U.S. is almost 3 times what it is in Britain.
But the waiting times. I never waited for anything, by the way. But there are two complaints that are going to happen here. It's too expensive. We're the richest country in the history of the earth, guys. Okay, the waiting times. Guys, I've never waited for anything. And if I've never waited for anything. And if it's like a surgery, they're going to be like, hey, listen, we can get you in like a week. And we're going to give you like the craziest medicine known to man. All right. So you can make it to the time where it has to happen. I think that's most likely how that works there. But, there are multiple complaints that happen when it comes to the concept of free healthcare, and all it really is brainwashing. It seems like it's just brainwashing. It's like, hey, listen, we have to fight for the corporations. The corporations and lobbyists have completely infiltrated the federal government and media. Okay, and what happens here, both sides are guilty of this. You're basically fighting for corporations. Because I'm trying to understand why someone would not want healthcare, adequate healthcare, guys. I'm confused by that. And that's one of the things that always bothered me, specifically when I look at the United States of America, when I'm outside of the United States of America.
Per capita healthcare spending in the U.S. is almost 3 times what it is in Britain, and almost 5 times what Canadians spend. In fact, Americans spend the most per person of any country in the world for healthcare. But the free market is more efficient, you screech. But in America, private systems often aren't efficient at all. Private drug companies have an incentive to charge whatever they can get away with for pharmaceuticals. In Canada, a carton of insulin costs about $20.
Right.
In the US, it costs $300. And with private insurance companies footing the bill, hospitals have an incentive to get as much money out of patients as possible too.
Right.
In 2015, the average cost of an MRI scan in the US was $1,119, but it was only $215 in Australia. Spain, about $181.
I'm telling you, bro, Spain, I mean this to the depths of me. That $1,000 that you just spent, bro, you can... Listen, a flight from the East Coast to Spain is like $600. Bro, go ahead and get yourself a vacation and an MRI.
And our healthcare system is so inefficient that we spend over 1/3 of our cost on administration. The United States spends significantly more on administration than we spend on preventative or long-term healthcare. That's just not smart. Okay, we get it. We all know that American healthcare is so much more expensive, you say, but that's the cost of having the freest freedom in God's favorite country. Well, guess what? Medical procedures that are totally free in Britain, like giving birth, cost tens of thousands of dollars in the United States. I mean, you want to talk about the cost of freedom. Sadly, because of these high costs, Americans often avoid going to the doctor, something almost half the population say they do.
Right.
With shoddy or non-existent health insurance, Americans will wait until their conditions force them into the emergency room where treatment is far more expensive. Again, not a smart system. Quite often, they end up putting off medical visits and dying. Susan Finley, a 53-year-old Walmart employee in Colorado, got pneumonia and took 1 day off of work beyond what Walmart's policy allows. So, of course, Walmart's going to Walmart, which they did by firing her.
Right.
Without her job, she lost her nominal health care coverage, she struggled to find new work, and after avoiding a visit to the doctor for flu-like symptoms, she was found dead in her apartment.
Yeah.
When Americans do manage to get treated, they frequently can't afford it. Simple, life-saving treatments can cost tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if they don't have really good insurance, they're forced to take on medical debt. Tens of millions of Americans owe medical debt, often into the tens of thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, in a country like Britain or Norway, medical debt is almost unheard of. But hey, that's why GoFundMe is such a critical component of American healthcare. 1 in 3 GoFundMe campaigns is now for medical bills. I'll repeat that. 1 in 3 GoFundMe campaigns is now for medical bills. I'm
gonna be honest. Yeah, whenever I do see it pop up, it's always something like something terrible happened and I had to go to the hospital, and this is what this is for: medical debt generally, or funerals, which I guess they're kind of in the same line. Yeah.
Such a strong, powerful, rich, and great country that its citizens have to beg strangers on the internet for money so they can get life-saving treatments that are free in the rest of the developed world.
Right.
But hey, that's just healthcare. Americans get terrible deals wherever you look. Let's take work, for example.
Now, here we go.
Americans work longer hours than people in any other rich country in the world, and that's not because they enjoy sleep deprivation and not seeing their families for days at a time. It's because they don't want to starve, or freeze, or die. See, America has the least generous job support programs, the least generous family benefits, and the least generous unemployment benefits of any wealthy country. It's one of the only countries on Earth that doesn't guarantee paid time off for vacations. It doesn't even help provide paid time off for parents who just had a child. And it's not coincidental that we're also one of the most hostile countries to workers' rights. America has one of the lowest unionization rates in the entire world.
Yeah, but a lot of that is due, again, to the United Corporate States of America. That's just the reality here, guys. All of this just comes down to we are in a gigantic corporation. I love my country. Absolutely, bro. Flag in the back. We're here. Multiple American themed tattoos, guys. Love my country. But just be fully aware we have an issue. What we really love is the corporation. We've been completely brainwashed into believing that that this is kind of what life is, and we should, blindly, for the most part, be patriotic to, the United Corporate States of America. I get that, right? And then this is, for example, this is why populist candidates always, they tend to win. They tend to win because they're offering change. Every single person realizes that we have a problem, so they want change. This is why some of the loudest people tend to pretty much win consistently, guys. Like if you start, speaking like the woke agenda and things like that, you then will end up failing to the other side of the United States of America, guys. You have to have a populist candidate that speaks to the overall people generally, right? And that in itself is what people, I think, voted for this year, guys. I mean, it's just a reality here, for me at least.
Maybe this deprivation, our refusal to give people the means to lead a good, dignified life commensurate with how rich our country is, can explain a bit of what we've seen in the United States over the last few decades.
All right, let's go.
Fraying communities, rising rates of depression, and huge numbers of deaths from drug overdoses. These so-called deaths of despair, drug overdoses,
Bro, stop saying that word.
Disease, they're one big reason why American life expectancy has actually started to decline over the last few years. And with such poor conditions, it's not a surprise that poverty is so rampant in the United States. America devotes a smaller percentage of spending on social welfare than any other industrialized economy because, say it with me, socialism is evil. It's evil. Go to Denmark and try telling those happy, healthy families enjoying their paid vacation that their system of government is evil. Guess what? I guarantee they'll know you're an American. But I digress. America also has the highest rate of child poverty of any developed country, and the highest percentage of workers earning significantly less than the national median income. That seems pretty evil to me, especially since such a tiny fraction take as much of your money for themselves and their families as you will let them. All the while, both parties smile and shake hands.
That's
Across
the reality,
every
guys.
Single metric, no people accept a worse deal than Americans today. High taxes, high cost of living for next to nothing in return from the government. The most expensive healthcare system for the worst health outcomes. More money taken from workers for the highest rate of child poverty. We are the richest country in the history of the world, but we have fewer miles of high-speed rail than Uzbekistan. We are the greatest country in the world, yet we have the most people in prison of any country, and the highest incarceration rate as well, and a higher rate of police killings than in Angola and Sudan. America is bad at everything because instead of choosing to make life better for people through a public healthcare system or more generous childcare policies or better public transit or programs that allow people to spend more time with their families, American law is designed and crafted to protect a class of parasitical middleman industries. Instead of using a proportionally tiny...
Exactly what he just said is basically what I explained in the video that I'm going to link in the description, guys. I mean, in the pinned comment.
Any piece of the massive amount of the wealth in this country to make people's lives healthier and happier. Most of our elected leaders are, and have been for generations, engaged in a massive project of looting. Gently and lovingly guiding as much money as possible from working people into the pockets of the well-connected and the ultra-rich. Think about that as we start hearing about the inevitable rise in homelessness, poverty, starvation, and sickness that will occur during these coming months and years in the greatest, strongest, richest, most powerful country on the face of the earth.
Right. Hey, put my flag back up.
I'm David Cross for the Gravel Institute.
All right, guys. Whoa. Okay. Hold on. This was a lot. This was heavy. This is very heavy. My experience is different, I'd say, than many other people's. Guys, I kind of didn't like how things were going in like 2014, I'd say. And that's when I left America. Right? I basically stayed gone for about maybe 6 years or so. And then the last 3 years have just been kind of going back and forth between the south of Spain and the United States of America, guys. Listen, I think in order to actually see America, like see it, you can't be inside of it. You have to experience somewhere else, okay? And I think that's the true, serious reality of this year, because there are going to be a lot of people most likely commenting on this video, and they're going to completely deny or go against a gigantic amount of things that this man just said here. But bro, I'm telling you, you have to see what this is from the outside. Okay. Now, like, so for example, in Spain, healthcare, because I know this is going to be a thing. The waiting thing is normally the initial disagreement with the concept of some type of universal-esque healthcare, right? It's the waiting thing for people. You do know that you can still get private insurance, right? Like if you really wanted it, you could do that. It's not a ban on private insurance. It's just to make sure that you're going to live tomorrow, guys. Like, do you know how terrible on the economy and just the country itself is to have a sick population, right? And when I say we worship a corporation, guys, we worship a corporation. I know it. And I didn't realize it until I was gone, guys. Okay, I'm telling you, I didn't realize it. I couldn't see it. Like nothing, like you could not say any of this. And again, guys, check out the comments. Okay, before I even post this video, I know what the comments are going to be. All right. There are going to be a lot of people who only saw like a small section of this here, and they're going to be talking crazy in the comments. I'm telling you, something offended them, and then they're going to be talking crazy in the comments. Okay. But if you are here, write the word, let's see, guys, what? Match. Write the word match in the comments if you made it this far, guys. You guys are the real ones. But here's the thing. There are so many issues, guys, and I never even knew it until I left, like I said. And then like looking back at it, it's just like, bro, if you guys notice that, like a lot of time in my videos, I say, please try to see something else, and then come back to the United States of America. That's all I want. You have to leave the mindset of the United States of America so you can kind of come back and see America for what it is. And I don't mean like a 1 week, journey, guys. No. You have to be in a country, like be in it for real. Don't go to any of these tourist hotspots, none of that. Experience the country and see what things are. I don't care what country it is, because I'm telling you, anywhere you go, you're going to see America for what it is. I'm telling you. Everyone is in cahoots with each other, big donor money everywhere, guys. And we are a gigantic corporation, and people worship this corporation, and they will fight for this corporation. Hence the reason why whenever you mention anything that is not going to benefit the company, let's say the corporation, people are up in arms. The healthcare issue, they're going to be up in arms because they're going to defend a corporation, because it doesn't really benefit the you and I, the common typical human or citizen. It doesn't benefit you at all, or me. It benefits a corporation for us not to have free healthcare. Okay, guys, that's it. That's the only argument, guys. But that's the thing. Also, look at our food, the quality of our food, bro. In Spain, I'm about 30 to 45, 50 pounds less in Spain than I am in the United States of America, eating basically the same exact way and the same food. All right. So there is a problem with our food. It's making us sick. In a place where we don't have free healthcare. Guys, what is going on? There is an issue. there's a serious one. But guys, if you want to hear more of my opinion, like I said, the pinned comment will be a video for my my tertiary channel, basically. Mr. Elboy Discusses, where I go into much more in depth, kind of regarding this topic and the reason why this video was sent. But check it out, guys. Seriously, get out of the echo chamber. Check it out. I'll catch you guys later. This is my lightsaber. Hey guys, you guys subscribe to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. Elboy, along with Mr. Elboy Music. Oh, also, Mr. Elboy Discusses. Guys, check it out. And if you haven't heard it today, you're amazing.